Hey everybody! Happy Monday, May 10. Wow, we're almost halfway done with May. Hope you're all doing well. Get my comments up here. Make sure to say hello. I love to chat with you. Let me know what's going on with your day. I have just been in my studio here getting ready to go to the oral surgeon. Oral surgeon this afternoon. I think we're just going to talk about what we're going to do with a failed root canal. It's failed twice, so they're sending me to a specialist this time. I think I'm just going to have the tooth pulled. We'll see what she says, but I think that's all we're going to do this afternoon. I'm hoping that's all we're going to do this afternoon. I am not very good at the dentist, and I'm not looking forward to having my mouth worked on. So as soon as I get done here, that I'm heading that way. Hi, Stace. Hi, Vicki. Put my eyes on. I hope y'all had a great Mother's Day. We had the kids over and the grandkids over and just brought in some takeout and had a great afternoon. Hi, Kay. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Loopy. Maggie just flapped her ears. If you heard that strange flapping noise in the background, she likes to shake and flap her ears. Today's project's really fun, and I talked last week. I can't remember who had mentioned. Somebody had mentioned last week that they didn't know about the baby wipe technique, so I just thought we'd do that and have a little review of that. It's a fun little technique, and it's easy enough for anybody to do, and you don't really need a whole lot of tools. Of course, you need some baby wipes. That's about it. And baby wipes are a great thing to have in your craft room or your craft stash anyway. They clean up messes. They clean your acrylic blocks really nicely. Clean your stamps off in a quick hurry. Hi, Kat. Hi, Susan. She's got me on the big screen. That's scary. Hi, Donna. Carol says she's petrified of dentists. I'm not petrified of them. I just get kind of sick to my stomach. So, when they're doing all that and it's just not my favorite thing to do. So, but if you're hopping on here later after I mentioned it, after I get done here today, I'm going to see an oral surgeon. I have a root canal that's failed twice, so I think I'm just gonna have him pull that tooth and we'll get an implant or something. I just want to get that infection out of there. They're very surprised that I don't have any pain associated with this. I don't chew on this side, and if I'll chew gum and forget, I will have a lot of pain on that side, so I baby it a lot. But the tooth next to it now moves. It's a little loose, so we got to do something with it. I don't want to go. I really don't want to go. Yeah, maybe I'll take a Xanax, Carol, before I go to the dentist. The card today, let me get my camera over here. It's really fun. I really enjoyed making this card. Like I said, somebody last week mentioned they weren't familiar with the baby wipe technique, so I found so we're going to use that technique for this card, and it worked out really nicely. See all these different pink colors? You'll see how I did that. So let's do all of that first. I'm going to use a layer of basic white cardstock, and this measures 3 3/4 by 5. We're going to layer it onto some Flirty Flamingo. And what you're going to need for your, hi everybody, I always forget to do that, is some baby wipes. I just picked these up. Like I said, I always keep a box handy in my craft room. They come in handy for different things. And you just need one for this. I'm going to grab two because I'm going to do two different things. And fold them in, I just fold them in half and then in half again. And then you want something that is waterproof. So I'm just going to use this block, larger block, so I don't get ink all over the place. And maybe I'll do this because I'm going to do two different doggy wipes. These are fragrance free, and I would use a fragrance free, and you know, I've used water-based ones before, so I'm sure if they're similar to baby wipes, they would work. Just try. It doesn't hurt to try. Okay, so I've got my little paper here. I'm going to put some scrap paper down here because we're going to stamp off the page. And then you are going to need the re-inkers, and these are great to have. They'll last forever and ever and ever. And I just got ink on myself, so I'm going to grab another baby wipe. Here, I'll just do that. I must have had ink on that bottle. As long as I don't get it on my sweater. Okay, so I chose 3 different colors of pink. This one is Melon Mambo, so it's the darkest color, and I'm just going to do about 5 to 7 drops on here or more. There's really no set recipe. This one is the Flirty Flamingo. So I've got a darker color, a medium color, and then I'm going to put a light color on. It's all going to end up being a mess anyway. But basically what we're doing is we're creating a stamp pad out of this baby wipe. Now that's a lot of ink. I normally don't use that much, but we'll see what happens. I think it'll work. Okay, I am using the Sweet Ice Cream Bundle. I liked it because it is a solid stamp. These stamps are solid, so we're going to get a lot of the colors picking up on those solid stamps. It's not necessary that you use a solid stamp, but I wanted you to see really well how mixing all those colors together. This works really great for florals, and I'm going to try a floral here in a minute when we get done with our card and show you how it would work with that as well. That's not necessarily a solid stamp. Okay, I'm going to put this up here so I can kind of use it as my guide. This is also a 2-step stamp. There's like a top and a bottom to this little ice cream bar. And I'm just going to ink up my stamp off of this inked up baby wipe. I can't really see what I'm doing because my camera's right at my head. And there's a darker. I don't know if you can see, and I think as it dries, you'll be able to see a little bit more. On my sample, you can really see it's already dried, so you can see the different color variations. Then I'm going to take the bottom half of this ice cream bar and ink it up. And I'm sorry, this is a really hard one to do under a camera because I have to line it up. It's a 2-step stamp. I really like it. Here we go. Can you see the different colors? Now this stamp has some shading. It's going to look a little, you can tell on the images that it's going to have some shading too. Whoops, I just dropped everything. But you can see the different colors. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish stamping this background. I'm just making a background for my card. Instead of designer series paper, I'm just going to make my own background using these stamps. do this. Try not to get ink on your fingers. I'm doing a terrible job about that. There's a good one where you can see the different colors. The darker pink, the lighter pink is kind of in there. Let's see. You can always add more. I'm going to add some more lighter. I don't think it was necessary to add more, but I wanted you to see that you can always add more. Let's see, I'm going to do this technique works really good with for fall leaves. Think using your Cajun Craze colors, your oranges and your russets, and it makes really pretty autumnal images using this. I thought about using a butterfly stamp. Would be real pretty using different purples and pinks and all those. What am I doing next here? It's hard for me to stamp and talk at the same time. I think I'll put my sticks on. This is why I have this extra one. I'm just gonna take some crumb cake and I'll show you why I'm doing this. If I take my stamp and just stamp it in, I put my ink pad away, so I'm not going to show you. But if I take my popsicle stick stamp and just put it in the ink, I'm not going to get that muted tone. So I went ahead and just, for my popsicle stick, I'm going to go ahead and use the crumb cake on the baby wipe. I tried it earlier, just adding some different browns, and it's, you know, it just kind of muddied it up. But I want to have my popsicle sticks on here. And doing it this way, I'm getting more of a muted watercolor effect. Oops. I've been dying to work with this set. It's been hard to keep this set in inventory, and I didn't have time to check. I think it's the punch that Stampin' Up! Is having trouble keeping in inventory. If any of the other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators on here know what our current situation is on that, be sure and just go ahead and comment in the comments. Because I know that has been an issue. This stamp set, there's a punch, and we're going to use that in a minute. Comes in a bundle. It is carrying over into the annual catalog, but the bundle price goes away. So be sure, if you're interested in this stamp set and punch bundle, that you if you get it before the end of June to get that 10% savings. No, I'm going to kind of leave that. I am going to kind of leave that. I'm just trying to kind of fill in the white spaces now. Donna says good with greens for leaves. Yes, this technique is really good for any kind of floral or greenery. I agree, Donna. I just wanted to do something a little different today because I was looking at flowers to begin with, and I thought, hey, I think this ice cream cone will work well. Okay, I'm going to put a little stick here, but I think I threw away my mask. I don't want it to come down onto my popsicle, so I am going to just stamp something on a Post-it here and make a little mask. Okay, so the stamp, the sweet, the punch and sweet. So the punch, they're having trouble getting that punch. Is on back order, which means you can go ahead and order it, and they expect, Carol says they expect more to come in by May 31st. So that's just a couple weeks away. So you can go ahead, if it's on back order, you can go ahead and order it. You won't pay extra for shipping. And then when that punch gets in, they will ship it out to you. So thank you, Carol. All right, I'm going to just put that right here on my popsicle so I can do my sticks. And they'll look like they're underneath that other popsicle. I feel like I'm getting my head in a lot today, but I have to line these 2-step stamps up. I'm going to leave that there. Oh, I'm going to put it right there. Thank you so much, Carol, for doing that. That's why I've just been kind of putting off kind of showing the stamp set because they've had such trouble keeping the punch in, but it looks like the end of May there'll be more. And it is orderable, so that is always good. It's just on back order. Okay, it looks kind of like a mess right now, but we're going to add all of our little stuff, and it hopefully will end up looking as good as this one. But that was the baby wipe technique. Now we're going to do the other little ice cream cone, and I have another little tip. Got all kinds of tips today. When you're using a punch, I've just taken a scrap of cardstock, and I went ahead and punched the punch out of it. And then I'm going to put it on my cardstock right here. And you may want to use, I'm always extra careful, especially when I'm on this live television. Carol got her stamp and punch already, so yeah. I think they're flying out the door as fast as they get them. Okay. Then you can just use this as your guide. Sorry if my head's in there. And when we go to punch it out, we'll be okay. Because there we go. We did it that way. Otherwise, we'd have to kind of, rigmarole everything around. But now it lines up perfectly. So that's just a little tip when you're using a punch like that, a punch builder. Okay, I'm going to get the ink out of the way. So y'all, that is the mysterious baby wipe technique. Very, very simple and fun. It is kind of fun. I didn't get my hands too inky today. Okay, I took the Flirty Flamingo and I'm going to put my stamped background right on top. As soon as I find my Stampin' Seal. I think I was going to have this be there. And then I cut a little circle out using the, just using a layering circle die using my Stampin' Cut and emboss machine. And I'm going to put my little ice cream cone together. These are so cute. And then I'm going to pop that up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to put that right there, and then I'm going to put my thank you, and that is also from the stamp set that just fell on the floor, so I can't show it to you. Oh, goodness. I've got a 1 inch by 3 1/4 inch, I think this piece is. And I'm going to use the thank you sentiment with just some Memento ink. It's a busy little card, and I wanted it to show up. There we go. Carol says she can't wait to try doing this. I know. Try some purples and things. It'd be cute with some, like a grape popsicle. I am going to just glue this down with my liquid glue. And actually, I'm going to put it on my card front because I need more room. That's why that wouldn't fit very well. This is just a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. It's the thick basic white. Always like to use the thick for my card bases because I'm going to add all this weight onto the front, and it makes such a difference. And your back isn't so, the back flap isn't so flimsy when you do that. Now I think this is going to fit better. I've got some ink right here, so I'm going to put my tag right there. And bring it all the way to the edge, like that. And then I'm going to pop my little ice cream cone up on here with Stampin' Dimensionals. Kat says she's going to have to buy the re-inkers. You definitely want re-inkers because your ink pads will last forever and ever. And so whenever I buy an ink pad, I always buy one re-inker for it. You don't have to ink them up very often, so you know you're going to have them just forever. And they're not expensive, so it's always nice to have. So there's the card. I hope you can see the different colors on the camera. There's the darker is the Melon Mambo. For the bow, I'm using the striped ribbon that comes in the suite. I'm going to show you the suite here in a minute. It sounds like, from what Carol says, the suite is orderable. It is just on back order. I ordered the whole suite because I liked the sprinkles, the ribbon, and it's a good price point. Whenever you have a punch, the price is always so attractive to me. All right, I just want a tiny little bow. And you don't have to have a die cutting machine to make this card when there's a punch. Then I'm just going to take, I don't know which side is prettier, a little mini glue dot. Put that right here. And then we'll trim out my ribbon. There we go. So that's the card. Isn't that sweet? Now I was going to show you one that's not a solid. These were very easy to use that technique because they were solid stamps. So you can really see the different colors. I was going to pull this one out and I'll do the little one. This little flower. And let's try, I'm going to get a fresh pad. Again, we're going to fold it in half and then fold it in half. And I just put it on a block because it keeps my surface clean, but you could use a craft sheet or a paper plate, you know, whatever you have. The inside of your stamp case would work as well. You just would have to clean it. I don't think it would dye it. I don't think it would discolor it, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to not put as much dark. I'm going to put, because this one's kind of shadowy, I'm going to put like just one drop of that. And then I'm going to do some drops of that. This is Flirty Flamingo. The first one was Melon Mambo. And this one is my Petal Pink. It's my lightest color. All right. And then here's some paper. So I'm going to try and get the center of my flower right there where it's darkest. And I don't know if the camera is going to pick this up, but you can see the subtle differences. Close up, but since it's on camera, I'm not sure you can tell as well. There you go. You can kind of see. You can kind of see the petal pink. It's a little bit peachier. It's coming out from the center. Let's try this leaf. I will go grab some different greens. This is the Timeless Tropical. I like this set for all my southern friends. I'll be right back. Okay, I grabbed some, oh, sorry about that, Pear Pizzazz, Old Olive, and Garden Green. So I grabbed 3 green colors. Y'all, That was silly. I don't need these. I need the reinkers. I'll be right back. All right, I got Garden Green, Mint Macaron, and Pear Pizzazz. We got this is the Pear Pizzazz, so it's the lightest. Mint Macaron's also a very light green, kind of a blue green. Let's try it with just the two. So this is what you want to do, is just try, experiment. You might need to add more ink to my, I'm going to add more ink, but it's real pretty. It's a real subtle. And this is kind of a line art stamp. There we go. I added a little bit more ink and it's a little darker. And I think as it dries, you see the difference a lot easier. But anyway, that is the baby wipe technique. Very, very easy. It's something that you do want to play around with. I just love the pink color, and I thought that, like I said, the solid stamps work really well with this technique, but you can also use your other stamps and get different effects, similar to what we did last week with the watercolor. So that's it, you guys. I have to go off to the oral surgeon. I'd rather stay here and stamp. But I will see you Wednesday for Coffee and a Card, 2 o'clock Central. We'll talk soon. Have a good Monday afternoon. Bye-bye.